Welcome to my Kengan chapter 116 review. I recommend using the Scans of Mitsuda website for the release of new chapters, as that's the team who are currently translating Omega, meaning it's uploaded on that website first. Also, links are always posted in the Discord, whether it be for the Raws or when the translations drop on their website. Today's chapter wasn't how I expected the fight to begin, but I quite liked it and the uniqueness of its beginning, and of course Tarashi's mysterious nature. Let's begin. Before I continue, make sure you're subscribed, and if you're an absolute mad lad, check out the other stuff in the description like the Discord and Patreon. Now back to the video. The title of the chapter is The Legend of the Masked. We see Okubo going for that strike he started the fight with last chapter, and sadly he wasn't able to connect it with Tarashi's face. Tarashi was able to block it with one hand, so we didn't get to see Tarashi's face this chapter. Ever since, last chapter 115 ended, a lot of people going over who's it going to be. Are we going to see Tarashi's face? Is his mask going to fall off? But nah, Tarashi too good, was able to block his punch, and we do see some text next to Tarashi blocking his punch, which is Zap, and him blocking his punch has pretty big importance for the remainder of this chapter, so just remember this. We got the commentators going over how Okubo makes the first move, but Tarashi was able to block it with the slightest of motions, and how was easily able to do this with, one hand, which is pretty impressive. We get some inner monologue from Clown Boy. What my right hand felt, even just for a second, was something uneasy. I don't know what his play is, so all I can do now is strike. So he's thinking Tarashi's up to something with that, one hand, and, he felt something that made him, feel uneasy from, Tarashi blocking that one attack. Then we have this very meme-worthy line from Clown Boy. There's something sus with that right hand of his. I don't know if this is the accurate translation, but that's what I see here. There's something sus with that right hand of his, which is I guess, yep, meme star, clown star is being a memer. And he also questions whether it's coated in poison, but he says that it would have felt different and that it's something that, not related to poison. So yeah, we have Tarashi, telling him to, come attack him. And then we have this very goofy dodge from Tarashi, which, I actually respect Tarashi. He's, telling him to push forward, come fight him. And then he's doing this, clown level dodge on the clown, Just respect our boy Tarashi, just kinda, messing around with Okubo at this point. The commentators also mentioned that Tarashi is quick to guard his head, which of course is, logical, but I think there's another motives for him, protecting his head, especially, the mask and his identity being revealed or something like that. From there we cut to some members of Team Kengan, and our boy Julius actually talking, saying something, and we do actually see him with a singlet on. So yeah, our boy Julius is here with him saying, "I don't understand, why did Okubo not strike?" Then, Waka's response, "It's quite strange with his strength, Okubo could have broken that guard easily." In the exchange so far, we've seen neither proper offense or defense from Tarashi. More precisely, I don't think he has any experience in modern martial arts, so he's using something, ancient or something very unique. Then we have Oma talking a little bit of shit, which I quite enjoy. He says, "His height is all he's got. He's no match for Okubo." But he mentions that Okubo is moving a little weird, and he somehow or for some reason is stopping his strikes, before they're actually hitting Tarashi's palm. And then of course there's something going on with Tarashi's hand that, has limited or prevented Okubo from really attacking him properly. So pretty much after that first attack from Okubo was blocked by Tarashi, Okubo felt very uneasy and is trying to ignore this palm, and Tarashi is just, using this same hand to, block or prevent Okubo from really doing anything so far in the fight. So, Tarashi is just, flexing on our boy Okubo at this point, and we do actually see him sweating and actually, struggling quite a bit here. Then we have Tarashi solidifying himself as, more of a top tier character, saying, "What's wrong? Come, you've gone quiet." So now he's talking some shit to Okubo, which I love to see. And due to, his worries about Tarashi's hand, he's actually not going to try and grapple Tarashi whatsoever, because that will give him, the perfect opportunity to use this trick or whatever it is at this point. So, Okubo is not going to use, half of his ability, which is his grappling, when thing he's, known to be top tier at. But regardless if he's not going to use grappling, Okubo is still a very top tier striker and smart fighter all around. To prevent his palm from doing anything, he kicks his arm away and then tries to focus on, the joints. For example, he struck the wrist so, he could move Tarashi's palm out of the way, then land a direct strike on Tarashi's chest, and then a direct hook to Tarashi's face, and we have Faye freaking out about how they're pretty much on completely different levels. So he's kind of actually losing, faith in Tarashi after that little exchange where Okubo did actually, outplay him quite heavily. And then we have Lolong stepping in to, tell the story of what Faye talked about last chapter about Tarashi being the name of this, famous assassin in China or something like that. And of course, it's Lolong telling the story because infinite knowledge Lolong is, here to save us all. There was once a martial artist from Chu State. His name was Long Min. I don't think this refers whatsoever to the Long Min we got in Kengan, who was a high-ranking member in Worm. Because of his overwhelming strength, it's said that if there were 5 Long Mins, the Chu State could have united China. United China that could maybe connect to Worm somewhat. I've heard that many martial artists call themselves Long Min, so that's a reason for the Long Min in Kengan who was part of Worm and one of Jaime's top bodyguards. It says Long Min was said to be the strongest, but there was one person that rivaled him, the masked assassin Fa. But we do have a translated note on the side here saying that Fa and Tarashi utilize the same kanji, so this is the person who was in history known as the person who Tarashi is kinda pretending to be, I guess, that's my assumption, or who Tarashi is modeled after with his fighting style, with this pretty unique and interesting outfit this, person has. And then we cut back to the fight from, that punch that Okubo landed on Tarashi. But yeah, I hit him fair and square and he shrugged off those heavy blows like it was nothing. So even if he's able to land a direct or 2 direct blows, they did absolutely nothing to Tarashi. So even though Tarashi isn't too beefy, he's just tall and lanky, it seems to be quite tanky as well, which is, good to see. Then we have Tarashi saying the following about Okubo. "Oh, the pain. You must be an amazing martial artist. Surely it took a while for you to get that strong, right?" Then out of nowhere, both of Okubo's fists or hands start to, pierce out blood, freaking him out of course. And then Tarashi's final lines for the end of the chapter. "A martial artist's strength is a waste. In order to wreck someone, this much is enough." So does that mean Tarashi is a wrecker like Falcon was in the past, and I also believe Mutua was, but Falcon was definitely a wrecker in the past? Does that mean Tarashi is a wrecker, or is this, the word he used to describe whatever he has done to Okubo so far? If you have any ideas of what martial art or what Tarashi is actually doing to Okubo, let me know down in the comments please. But maybe he has razors on his hand or on his somewhere, I don't know, wherever it is. Both of his hands are bleeding, so it wasn't just the one punch that was blocked by Tarashi's palm at the start. It was from him actually striking Tarashi after that as well. So whatever Tarashi has done, he is very mysterious still. As he fights, he just gets more and more mysterious. But yeah, a very unique and very interesting start of the chapter. We got, Long Min mentioned again in history with this very cool masked assassin from back then as well, which is very cool. Maybe Tarashi is connected to the Worm, considering that Long Min was the name of a, Worm member from Kengan, who was, second strongest or one of the strongest in Worm alongside the Tiger Vessel. But yeah, let me know your thoughts of the chapter down below. I thought it was great. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, join the Discord, follow my Twitter. And as always, shout out to the people who support the channel via the Patreon. Absolute mad lads. But yep, that's it guys. Peace.